Master Grade Gundam Age-2 Dark Hound. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, GundamReviews.net, and you've already seen the unbox for this Master Grade Age-2 Dark Hound. Now it's time to take a look at both these plates, but more importantly, the very interesting colored small plates that are going to be there, especially in comparison with the old Age-2 Normal. To the anything but colorful A plate here, which is going to have that nice dark black, which is going to be on a few more plates and definitely the most visually dominating color on this kit. You can see some parts for the back and the shoulders and the side and the back skirts there, with some cool parts including this part here, which is going to go for the inside and surround the all-important age system. And if you take a look at this compared to the normal, you can see that the majority is going to be the same. These parts were omitted, and which means these parts are anything but normal up here, because they are going to be for the Dark Hound only, and that's going to give you his very unique looking head. Which I think the more you look at it, the funnier it seems. It's one of those things best appreciated without thinking too much. Here's the B plate for the Age-2, no mention of normal or hound on here, and you can see that the normal was just going to have a slightly different face and goatee combination over here. C plate, which is going to be made up of that nice wine red color here. It's actually really cool. When you saw it with the pink parts in the bag, it looked very pink, but actually it's going to look quite red, but it's a very different red from what we're used to in the regular Good Guy tricolors. You can see this nice part here is going to look great on the back of the rear skirts. The all-important yellow on the RX-78-2 is going to be the red here to go along with these vents, which will go around the black and the collar. And if you take a look at this compared to the normal, you can see that all of that was yellow, but now it's been replaced with this special V-fin here that's going to be just for the Hound. Now here though is where things get interesting for this kit, is you're going to be getting two unique D plates here, unique because they actually say Dark Hound on them, but they are going to be completely identical here, and what that means is that you've got this set of eyes here that you can choose to either put in the proper colored gold or the green ones here, and this part is actually going to swing into place, so you can actually put down the pirate eye patch here, and you can choose to either put in yellow or green for that. You've also got this small piece there, and otherwise, for the scopes of the weapons, you can choose which color you want to go with, and this has no relationship with the normal's D plate, which also doesn't say normal on it, just Age-2. The E plate is going to move into this nice secondary gray that they're going to use throughout. Just for the Age-2, you're going to see this very strongly for the manipulator covers there, and for the waist skirts, not to mention the front and this all-important part that's going to attach onto the chest. And you can see that you've got the face mask there, which isn't going to have any lining or anything like that, and if you want to compare this to the normal, you can see that a whole bunch of white was truncated. Back to the proper size plates though, and you can see that this is going to be a very light gray, which is going to make up the majority of the inner frame. Sort of cool that they've got the darker gray on the outside. You can see all the parts that you're going to need to put together the shoulders and the insides of the body, and if you take a look at this, you've also got a custom action base attachment there for the MS mode. You can see that the gray color is also going to be a little bit different here from the normal, and that these parts are going to be replaced with this part here, which is going to be used for the skull, and that part for his square head. Identical G plates, again in the nice light gray color here, and you can guess that there's going to be some unique parts over here, as you get to see the anchor shots over there, and some more small parts that look like they're going to be put on to the side wings, and to compare that to the normal, you can see that this part was omitted, and all of this is going to be new. Back to black for this H plate here, and you can see it's a little surprising that this is just going to say Age-2 instead of normal on there. But then when you see it next to the normal's plates, it looks like all of these parts here for the feet are going to cross over in common. But whereas you had a whole bunch of extra blue parts over here on the left, these are going to be replaced by the much more poke your eye out with side binders over here. Back to the darker gray, which you can see is going to make up some parts that are going to cover up the toes, the outside of the shoulders there. You can see some big chunks for legs and for the thighs, and these parts, which are going to look pretty good when they're on the outside of the skirts. And if you take a look at this compared to the normal, you can just see that there was, again, a whole bunch of white that was omitted. J for Age-2 here, and you can see that these are going to give you all of the key parts for the very, very cool X2 Crossbone influenced Lancer over there, and I should say, I guess, Crossbone Vanguard, just in general, as it was seen long before the manga came out. For the normal, you can see that all of the parts are going to be removed from the left side with just these cool looking parts there on the inside left over in common. The K plate will be bringing the normal home here, as you get to see the all-important parts that are going to go into the front and back and make up the chest parts there, and you can see where you can put that clear A symbol around there, which is going to look very good and very age-ish, I'm sure, and anything but flat. Over here it looks like we've got Captain Ash's pilot seat there and some other details were missing from the normal, as we just have this little corner omitted here. Now we're talking extras though, as we've got the Dark Hound label on here for the L1 plate, and this is going to be that slightly silver that Bandai is going to use. Definitely different from the gray that we've seen for the rest of the kit, and definitely not white like anything you'd see on the normal. But you've got the end of the Lancer down there, and some very cool parts. You're going to have both the skull on the top of the head, which is going to play a role in the eye patch transformation, or at least configuration if you want to call it that. And down here for the skull part on the chest, again going back to the days of the X1 and X3. And then you've got Captain Ash both seated in his normal suit, and then just looking very cool there. And actually, he's not even in his normal suit. He's got his hair revealed, very similar to Char. Hey, who needs a normal suit when you've just got pirate power? And the MP manipulator plate is going to wrap things up after the L plate. There's the normal. They are identical. You're going to be getting these great looking parts here, which are going to allow the hands to go up and down, actually on a circular part, which is going to look good. And then you're also going to have the rest of these fingers, as you've got fists reaching towards the stars, just regular beam saber holders there, and the 3-finger trigger finger split, where they're not actually split. Saber 8 plate here is going to be familiar for 00 fans, as you've got the long and the short type there, Exia style. Both of these are of the flat variety. And then you're going to have PC 207 wrapping up the insides in a fitting gray, with a couple of light colored gray leads here, so you can have the anchor shots. You could cut these to whatever lengths you desire. Hopefully they're not going to have any problems in keeping it up in terms of fighting gravity. Here are the regular color seals, which are going to give you separate eyes there, not just the one bar that goes across. And the very familiar gold eyes there. You're also going to have some of these gold little seals there. Some of those are going to get attached onto the main weapon, and otherwise we've got some black parts there which are going to look good, including as the eye holes or the eye sockets of the skull. And if you want to use all the features here, you've got silver seals for the Age-2 Dark Hound. You could put those in behind the clear gold part or the clear yellow part for the eyes, and hopefully in the right light they're going to reflect and show off nicely. Decals now, you can guess, are going to be white themed, as they can show up against the dark body there, and it's just not quite as impressive as the Crossbone Vanguard symbol, although it is sort of cool that they've got the wrenches, because hey, the normal, it became a fixer-upper. And for the marking seals here, you've got the same symbols down there in white, and some yellow parts there that would look probably pretty good if you put them on. But when I looked at the box, it really looked to me like these were going to be some white seals all over the place, but instead, they're just going to be a very light shade of gray. Nonetheless, if you want to put them on, similar to the way they really jazz up the Age-2 normal, I think they'd go a long way in bringing this guy even further to life visually. Going through the plates here, you can see that you're going to have some nice colors there to make up the body, but it's going to be these small parts and the way that they go on there. I'm talking about the silver and that nice wine red to go along with the clear green and the clear yellow, that you have the choices of which ones to put on where. Definitely seems like there's enough changes here to not make it repetitive for those of you that have built up the Age-2 normal. So anyway, everybody, stick around to see how it's all going to work. And as always, let me know what you think with a comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stick around. Next up, it's the completed parts. Not this time, but somehow, a white hound seems pretty appealing.